All right, every month we like to give you a glimpse of what is happening in the business world here in Utah. And joining us is Catherine Benentt. She is the executive editor of Utah Business Magazine. So, Catherine, let's talk about the October issue. And you got some cool stories. And let's start off with hockey culture. You know, the Smith group is doing everything they can to build a culture of hockey. We saw that last week with what was happening with the
Tusky.
home opener. Yeah, hockey. Yeah.
Tusky, the
Tusky
mascot.
too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us about how they're trying to build this culture.
Yes, and we did focus October. There was a lot going on in sports, so we focused a lot of our stories in that direction. But with the Mammoth, we had that question: how do you rally a new group of people around a sport? Obviously, we've had the Grizzlies, but this just feels a little different, right? National Hockey League.
This is big time.
This is big time, and so how do we get people excited about this that maybe haven't been hockey fans in the past? And so they're kind of there's like a 5-point plan that they have. So obviously you need storytelling, you need the reporters, they have something called Nashcast, if anyone's heard it, where we're kind of educating people who don't know hockey, but also informing and kind of giving entertainment to people who do know hockey. There's the new facility, the practice facility that's incredibly high-end, fantastic. Right? Yeah, that's actually our cover. It was shot. We just stuck a puck on the ice, and that was really cool. Youth hockey, getting younger kids excited about hockey, and then of course you have to win. So there's that element too, and corporate sponsors.
I think they have three wins under their belt.
I know, winning helps. That helps the culture. So, but it's fun to look at it from that angle. What's really going to get people excited and engaged in hockey here?
And of course, they made some big improvements at the Delta Center too.
They did. They added, I think, 17,000 seats is what they're aiming for, so that they can pack those hockey fans in there. So.
Okay, and what other things they have coming down the pike? Do you know?
That's a good question. We kind of focused on the past and or not the past, but what are we focusing on now to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for the future? But more developments to the Delta Center, for sure. More. They're going to be doing a lot of fan engagement type things at that new practice facility in Sandy. So that's something they actually think that's where most of those interactions will happen is at that facility. And kind of cool that they transformed a mall, right?
That's right.
Part of the mall to do
is
that.
having problems anyway, so
I think we need to do more of that. We need to
do
more of that. How can we repurpose some of the space we already have? So good on them for that.
Okay, you mentioned Tusky.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here in Utah, we kind of have a monopoly on mascots. It sounds like.
People don't know that. People don't know this. This is like a hidden gem for sure. Alinco Costumes. They actually also just acquired another mascot costume shop that's been around for a really long time. But we have a family-owned business here that produces more than half of the NBA costumes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that so interesting?
Yeah.
And it's tucked away on an unsuspecting street in, I think, Murray. But it is a wild adventure in there. There's a whole wall of eyeballs on, mascot eyeballs on one wall. It is so interesting. But they have really talented seamstresses that are working there. They were the first people to come up with a mascot costume where you could do a backflip in. So they can't share all the costumes that they've done, but I can tell you that some of the most prolific ones from Utah came out of their little shop there.
What about Tusky?
I don't know.
Mascots don't talk. Everything is secret, I guess. So
yeah, it's kind of when you're at Disneyland, you can't take the head off. Like it's a mystery. You have to be the mascot.
That's really cool. So they actually produce them.
Yeah, if you walk in there are seamstresses that are up there sewing these heads together. It's an art form. It is the steps that go into it are it's labor intensive.
Yeah, that's in Murray, my town. So I guess maybe I'll pay them.
Go wander around those streets and see what you can find.
Okay, another popular business, been around for a while, is Behive Cheese, and kind of a fascinating story of how it came about.
Yes, and we've kind of joked with the owners, like, you don't really hear a lot about innovation in cheese. You hear a lot about innovation in tech.
Cheese is cheese, you would think.
It is not.
That's the thing, yeah.
So he actually had this idea to rub coffee grounds on cheese and kind of left it and forgot about it. It was just a wild hair, and it ended up winning tons of awards. He had this idea.
Coffee grounds.
Great idea. I mean, just experimenting, and so it's won some National Cheese Society awards. There's a society for everything. But he actually had food scientists at USU come down and try it, and brought us some of his PhD students with them. They were like, "This is incredible!" And so we actually had them cater some of their stuff just last week, and it's honestly so good. So just a fun to see innovation in all things, and something as simple as that, making a national kind of statement in that world is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, and one final story here we want to look at, the compassion that a lot of Utah corporations show. They get very involved in the community and help out when things maybe aren't going so good for people.
Yeah, we hear a lot about social corporate responsibility and companies giving back. But it was really kind of special to have this story come up that was really personal. It was a company helping one couple who, and many people might know this couple. They went viral on Instagram and TikTok. But the couple, the husband had colon cancer, very young. He passed away actually a couple of months ago at 30 years old. But they were having trouble having children, and the girl's dad went to LinkedIn and just said, "Here's the story, here's what's happening," just sharing kind of his personal experience. And we had a co-founder from Crumble, Gab, CEO of Gab, and a host of other people say, "I want to help your child, with this, in this trying time," and ended up being able to pay for IVF in vitro, and had a baby before he passed away, and had that experience with him. And so it was really just an opportunity to show like a more emotional side of business and what we're doing for each other behind the scenes. And that was kind of just a special, different story to tell.
So, all right. So, all of this and more in the October issue.
Yes.
And anything big coming up in November?
I mean, you have to know about Forward. I have to talk about it again. Utah Business Forward is on November 17th. We have 45 plus founders, executives, experts that are going to be talking. You can meet them in person throughout the day. Truly top class people and networking. Like no better networking than that event.
November 17th?
Yes, at the Hyatt Regency, just downtown.
All right.
Yes.
Cool.
It's
Thanks
gonna
so
be fantastic.
much.
Thank
Catherine.
you.
We love it when you come in.
Oh, thanks for having me, as always.
All right.